Hey everybody, I am in a very special place right now, which we're going to get to in a second. But for those of you that don't know, I'm active duty military, so I don't get to come home very often. But here I am back home in Queens, New York for a couple of days for the holidays. And I've been working with a lot of clients recently to help them craft, package, and deliver their personal stories to go out and impact the world. And it's really got me thinking about my own personal story. And here I am back in Queens, New York. And this is where it all started. And here I am at this school that I went to for 6 years of my life. And when I think about my story, this is where it began. You see, this school is being rebuilt. It's huge now. But before it was being rebuilt, it was just a little tiny school for 6 years of my life where I went through hell, racism, bullying, beatings. It was terrible. And all I felt like was I was being torn down. And I was driving past this school the other day and I noticed that they completely tore it down and now it's being rebuilt. And that made me reflect on my own life. And what it made me realize was I had to be torn down before I can be rebuilt into something much, much bigger. Maybe you've experienced something like that, where you felt like you were being torn down, only to discover that God had some bigger plans for you. The second thing it made me realize was that the architect of this building knew how big it was going to be while the building was being torn down. In a similar way, you and I have an architect of the universe, God, who, although we're being torn down, he knows the blueprint for our life, how much bigger and better he has in store for us if we are willing to stay faithful and to follow his path. But lastly, I understand that it's hard to stay the course when we're being torn down. You see, this building is going to take years to be rebuilt, but when it is rebuilt, it's going to be much bigger than it originally was. So you've been through some stuff too, and chances are you're much bigger now than you were when you were being torn down. When I overcame 6 years of being tortured in this school, I wanted to use my voice to share with other people how I overcame what I overcame. Personal development became my passion, my mission in life. And I wanted to speak, motivate, encourage, empower, and uplift other people. But it seemed like no matter how hard I tried, my message just wouldn't resonate with people. And I don't know if that resonates with you, but have you ever just been in a position where you were working day in, day out, trying to get somewhere, but it just wasn't working? And it wasn't until I met a mentor of mine named Les Brown. And I did something very scary for me at the time. I invested $297 a month in his training that I did not have, put it on a credit card. And I made the decision that my dreams and goals of wanting to uplift, inspire, educate, they were worth going into some debt, to be honest with you. And it changed my life. That one risk changed it all for me. And I learned how to craft, package, and deliver my story. And something crazy happened. People started to come to me and say, "Devin, can you help me do this?" And at first I said, "You're crazy." But so many people started to come to me that I almost had no option. I knew that if I was refusing the whispers that God was whispering in my ear, that wouldn't be right. So listen, you might be somebody that has a message that you want to share. You might not know exactly how to do it, how I was for about 6 years. You've been through some stuff, you've gotten through some stuff, and now you're on the other side and you know that you want to help some other people get there as well. So if you're one of those people, or if you just know one of those people, I want you to simply like this video, leave me a comment, or if you don't want to do either of those, just send me a private message and say, "Devin, I resonated with what you said." Because what I've realized is that the story that we're sitting on is the story that somebody else is waiting on. You can't afford to not share that story, but you have to share it in a way that people resonate, connect, and are transformed by that story. So like I said, if it resonated with you, just like the message, comment down below, and here I am where my life was once torn down to be rebuilt much bigger. Have a fabulous day.